What's up, everybody? Thralls here once again. I'm Necrotic.
I'm Jammin.
And we have yet another album review for you. And this whole week has been dark and weird and cosmic and technical, and we're gonna continue on with that one with the latest offering from VoidCeremony, Abditum or Abditum. I don't know how to say that. Might be a made-up word. I don't know. Either way, this comes out also on the 14th of November on 20 bucks spin. This band formed in 2013 in California. This is their third full length overall. We both became fans of this band when we went over their last album, Threads of Unknowing, back in 2023. And for those that don't know, this is progressive / technical death metal. It's bizarre, and as it should be. I mean, it features current and former members of bands like Stargazer, Ghoul Gotha, Atheist, and Mournful Congregation.
That right there is a perfect summation of exactly what this sounds like. And yeah, I was a big fan of the last record, so I was pretty excited to listen to this. Nick showed me one of the singles a couple days ago, and I said, yeah, this should be a good time. And it was.
Well, yeah, I remember going over their debut. I was like, yeah, vaguely. Was it weird? It's like, fuck yes, it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're kind of prepped for. And man, this album is dizzying. Now, in the last album, they had one Charlie Corn on drums, who, I mean, just go through your death metal collection. Charlie Corn's bound to be on one or two albums because they do drums for everyone. But I guess he has since left the band, and this is the first one with their new drummer, Dylan Marks, who drums for Atheist and Till the Dirt. We've actually had the pleasure of seeing him play, and this guy's pretty much the right fit because, man, I think this pushes the technical aspects maybe even a little bit more than the last one, especially in terms of just sharp, jagged, twisting, angular riffs. Like, it's a riff buffet, but it's also a lot of noodles. You get your noodles with your riffs on this one for damn sure.
Yeah, this is like a full, like at least 4-course meal of varying different kinds of riffs. You get your noodles, you get your taters, you get your meat, you get your broccoli, and then you throw it all into one big blender because, god damn it, maybe your teeth don't work the way they should, right? And so you just drink it all together, and that's kind of what this is.
It is savagely fast, savagely technical, and also very atmospheric. The opening track on here, which this has an intro, an outro, and even a little interlude, which is interesting because this album isn't even a half an hour, but, you know, whatever. The intro, Inevitable Entropy, I mean, it's like 80s synth heaven. In fact, like, actually maybe early 80s synth, because they seem like they have it, like, pretty much fixed on that tone where it's supposed to sound like a female human voice, but it really, really doesn't. It sounds like you're some space traveler, or, I don't know, Conan traveling through space. That'd be a fun one. Either way, you've just entered a hall of just naked angelic aliens. You're like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. It's nice digs. This is hey, how you doing? The whole song is just weird synth magic, and then bam, you go right into voracious duality, and it is voracious. And it just absolutely just tears off your face with crazy blast beats. The riff changes, dude, like, it's just so fucking hard to keep up with until you get down to, like, some good solid riffy moments where you can just, like, bang your head like, oh my god, what happened earlier?
But even those don't stick around a whole long time, at least not in the first song. The first song, I don't know, it's wild, and I think that's putting it lightly. Yet again, this is another album that I would not call for novice listeners. But then it gets into Seventh Ephemeral Aura, and I must say that there are actually straight ahead moments in here, like stuff you can really easily kind of latch onto, which isn't for most of this record. Like, most of this record, you're kind of like, that's a pretty insane Rubik's Cube. But this one at least has some moments that you can kind of latch onto. There's some more groovy pockets going on in here.
I'd agree there, but I'd also go as far as saying that Voracious Duality might be the most technical, explosive track on the album, which is, you know, kind of a bold opener, but as this album went on, like, a lot more opened up in the way of melody, groove, riff construction. It brought in a lot of elements that I really wasn't expecting. Failure of Ancient Wisdoms in particular was a big standout for me, mainly because it kind of opens up with, like, very minimalist riffs. Like, they're not technical, it's just heavy strumming. Honestly, it kind of sounds a little blackened at points, but as the song went on, I started hearing this very familiar ring. and it's one that I will always be down for. It started sounding like Later Death, like namely like individual thought patterns and human. You have those just distinct Chuck harmonies. Like that's the best way I could describe them. Like you hear them and instinctually the first thing you should be thinking of is Chuck Schuldiner, or to a degree, and considering how technical this is, also atheist. Like there's definitely some stuff in here that's very unquestionable presence. But at the same time, in terms of like the more angular, lurching, more sinister sounding riffs, there's stuff in here that reminded me a lot of Immolation as well. A lot of this is a blend on here. And believe me, the blender is moving fast as shit. Like you are getting emulsified technical fucking play all over here. But it's those moments where they start slowing down and kind of breaking up the songs a bit. That's where I can really kind of like start latching onto it. Because even when it comes down to breakdowns, sometimes the breakdown patterns are just crazy complicated. Like in some weird, bizarre time signature where they, you know, base it off of the fucking wonky wheel in a fucking shopping cart. Or one of them threw a brick in a dryer and turned it on. It's like, all right, that.
And tempo shifts are a big thing too. And in Gnosis of Ambivalence, there's a really crazy part that comes after all these wild counter harmonies, and you'll hear what it is, where it does these insane tempo shifts, often 2 or 3 times within a measure, and it happens quite a few times, and it's really crazy, because I don't know how, outside of using a click track, I don't know how you keep that together.
The drum work in here is absolutely insane. Like there were points in it that it was just near impossible to keep up with it because like, there's constant fills, constant like quick snare rolls, quick drum pattern transitions. They're playing the same riff and then they go into like a totally different fucking beat. And then, you know, occasionally they're just like taking that same riff, playing it a little bit differently, and dude goes off and hammers out some polyrhythm that I can't fucking follow because, I don't know, the last one fucking made my brain stupid.
A lot of the rhythmic patterns in here remind me of Cryptopsy. Very, very flowish type patterns. Wormed being the same thing. We saw Wormed at MDF, and that was wild too. But it just kind of reminds me of that, like, how in the hell?
Yeah, and the way it flows, like, you know, a lot of riffs cascading into different riffs, different melodies. It flows really well. Like, it doesn't always come across as jagged. In fact, there's a lot of moments of just, like, pretty melodies. The lead work in here, I think, is fucking beautiful. Like, a lot of jazz fusion, a lot of, like, you know, like, lush melodies coming in and then going right into just, like, bizarre note choices. Like, I'm not even going to try to pretend to understand because I don't understand anything about guitars. But I think even people that understand guitars would listen to this and go, huh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, this is definitely a clinic on all levels as far as the technicality being showcased here and how well it's done. Like, I can't do this at all. I can't even begin to fathom how to accomplish something like this. Even the drum work is so insane that I spend a lot of time just going, wow. And that was pretty much my face for most of this record. It actually reminded me of the first time I saw Atheist.
But again, there are like straightforward moments, and the straightforward moments have some variety to them. Despair of Temporal Existence, probably the most brutal track on here. Big, chuggy, chromatic riffs to start off. Like, it kind of sounds a little bit more akin to like Suffocation or I would say Afterbirth, you know, just because it's a little bit more technical, and it eventually does get a lot more technical.
Even tonally on that song, it's nasty. It's more muddy. Like, there's a lot of the clarity lost that's in a majority of the tones throughout the remainder of the record. Like, it sounds like it's meant to be more intense and more brutal.
And production-wise, this is really solid sounding. Like, it sounds very organic. It doesn't sound so, like, clean and polished to the point where it kind of, like, it loses the fact that it's musicians playing this. You know, it still sounds very natural. And for the most part, you can make out everything. I will say, one of the things that I really loved about the last one was the bass work. Damon Good, who is in Mournful Congregation, also in Stargazer, and in Cauldron Black Ram, which is another bizarre Australian band. The last album for VoidCeremony was loaded with really cool fretless bass play. Like, it was honestly one of the biggest standouts on there. And this one, I mean, it's still here, mostly on Despair of Temporal Existence. That's the only song that really showcases it. The rest of this, I feel like it's more about the guitars and drums this time.
I mean, you can definitely hear it. It's definitely there. I like fretless bass, and I really like fretless bass in really technical albums. I just think that's kind of another, like, hey, fuck you, look what I can do kind of thing.
Well, it's also a layer of melody, too. And, you know, this album isn't really missing a lot of melody. Like, there are good melodic sections on here. Again, all the leads were great. Those very, like, later death, you know, harmonies that are all over the place are awesome. They work as a good balance from all the crazy counter harmonies that are on here. But that fretless bass play was a big standout element on here. And, you know, I don't understand, like, what the choice was in terms of, like, why they didn't stick with that or why it just really shows up on the one track. That and, like, the interlude tracks are, I mean, they're interesting setup. Like, the intro, I mean, it is admittedly just kind of cheesy. Like, it reminds me of, like, Heavy Metal, like the animated movie, and a bunch of shit like that. You also have Dissolution, which is a really pretty guitar solo, and, like, this kind of nice spacey piece. And it's the part where, like, Conan or the dude from space serenades the naked alien chicks, like, hey, look what I can do.
Kind of reminds me of the interlude that's on the Faceless's Planetary Duality. And then the outro, Elegy of Finality, I mean, the twinkling, shimmering melodies. Sounds like a cat stepping on a synthesizer over and over again, which, once I pictured that, I was like, yeah, I could picture my cat doing that.
I pictured our hero just looking back, leaving planet Boobatron or whatever it was called. And man, that was fun. I really hope none of them are pregnant. But overall, this was a pretty fun listen. Like, it was just a blitz at points. But when it pumped the brakes a little bit and kind of, you know, got a little bit less technical, let in some melody, I thought this was pretty damn good. Overall, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. Kind of surprised that it was like less than a half an hour, but I mean, it's a full listen. Like, you get like about 4 billion notes on this album. And they're mostly played at light speed, which, I mean, is appropriate for something that sounds as sci-fi oriented as this. It's twisted, it's absolutely bonkers at points, but honestly, it's got some really solid hooks. Love the nods to later death. Like, those are probably my favorite things on here. Those harmonies, they always just work for me. There's some really good, like, immolation-esque moments on here where it sounds a little bit more evil and sinister. There's some flat-out brutal moments on here. A lot of this, again, is a clinic. But at points, you know, I don't want a clinic. I just want some solid rest. But it does deliver there, too. I do miss the fretless bass. Like, that was a big selling point on the last one. That's one of the reasons why I like that one so much. It isn't as though without it, it's a terrible album or anything like that. It just feels like it's missing. But if you're a big fan of, bands like Vile Rites, Blood Incantation a bit too, later Gorguts, I would say, like, very specifically, and early Bedsore. Honestly, the first Bedsore album, there's parts in here really reminded me of this too. But yeah, check this out. It's pretty damn good.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4. But the crazy thing is that as unhinged and as wild as these transitions are and the speed at which it's done, like, even within those insane riff patterns, it somehow doesn't go all the way off the rails. Like, it's still pretty cohesive, which is impressive, because what they're doing here is not for the faint of heart.
I don't know. I'm no musician, but this sounded like it was a piece of cake to me. I don't know. I might be stupid, though. No
one is arguing that here, as a matter of fact.
What was the question?
Yeah. I love the fusion-y lead work. Like, that is a really big thing for me. Like, in metal, a fusion-y lead is probably one of my favorite things. Like, I'm all about shredding balls, and, I mean, who doesn't want to go fast? But fusion-y leads to me are so tasteful and smooth. It's that buttery smoothness of a fusion-y lead that I just absolutely adore. And all the crazy counter harmonies. To me, it sounds like the Wall of Death, and in this case, it's not people. It's just guitars running into each other, but somehow, like, they mesh well still. And that's, again, something crazy to be done at this speed. Outside of the cheesy intro and outros, like, I thought it was really fucking good, man.
Planet Boobatron!
Yeah, I've been to Planet Boobatron. I rather like it. It's a good time, and that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, if you're into bands like, definitely Immolation, I would say Beyond Creation, Morbid Angel, but covered by Atheist. I think that's a fair description. Definitely later Gorguts, some Decrepit Birth. If you're into any of this stuff, you're definitely going to want to check this out. So if you were a VoidCeremony fan before, you're still going to be a VoidCeremony fan. I definitely recommend giving this a spin.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We also have memberships. They're only 99 cents. Our lone perk is doing a members-only live stream, which we'll probably be doing one close to Thanksgiving. We will let you know the time and the arrangement and maybe some of the stupid shit we'll talk about. I don't know. We might just keep you guessing on that. Trust me, it'll be stupid, though.
That's how we roll.
But memberships are the main way to support the channel, and if you would like to join up, there's a join button down there for you to fly your 80s spaceship right into. There's no, like, boobed alien women there, but there's a join button, and you can hit it, and that'd be cool.
And if you don't, that's also cool. Beggars can't be choosers. We're just happy that you're here. Tons of content coming your way. Album reviews, discography rankings, never-ending discussion forums, Nick's collection updates, just tons of metal shit all the time. It's what we do here at Thralls of Metal. And we do it for you guys, because gosh darn it, we like you. We actually love you guys. Thank you for being a part of this channel. Thank you for doing all the things that you continue to do to make this an absolute blast. Just, we're beside ourselves because this channel keeps growing, and that in itself, much like this album we just reviewed, is fucking wild. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys absolutely roll. Tons of content coming your way. So one more big thank you because of all your rulage, and we will catch you later.